Hello, YouTube pipers. Double O Pipe here, aka Rick, trying to get into the Carter Hall tub. I'm smoking this. This is supposed to be that emerald corncob pipe, but they ran out of emerald stems, which I complain about every time I pick this up. Nothing I can do about it now. Well, let me stuff this. And make sure I got a nice flow of air. I'm finding lately that whenever I stuff one of these pipes, that I don't have enough tobacco. I mean, it's full, but I want the smoke to be longer, and I don't know how to go about doing that. And it's not because I'm freight training, because I'm not really. Let me get situated here. I guess it's just I want more, and sometimes I load it up again and smoke another one right after it. Do y'all ever get these? These are, they have the no postage necessary if mailed in the United States. I get those and I save them. This is an aside. And after I've drawn some things, I'll fold it up and put it in there and send it. I hate to see it, the postage wasted if it isn't mailed, because if it doesn't go through the mail, oh, well, I don't know. That's like when we were kids and we used to go out to the golf course and we get close to the green and they'd be knocking the ball from the tee off, and as soon as it would land, we'd run out from the forest and we'd pick that ball up and throw it as hard as we could back to him and then haul our little butts back to the woods. You never heard people cuss so much in all your life. But anyway, that's kind of what this is. This is my adult rebellious streak, I guess. Oi. I just wanted to get on here and smoke a pipe again. Say hello. And hope y'all are all getting ready for Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow. I went to Publix today, which is Geezer Day. Means we get our discount. I only got 3 bags of groceries. Very little in those bags. Over $100. I just can't get over that. I can't get out of that place without spending over $100 anymore, no matter how little I buy. But I bought some thick slices of turkey and a can of cranberry sauce. And tomorrow I'm going to get me 2 slices of bread. I'm gonna slap cranberry sauce on both slices of that bread and then put a couple of slices of turkey in there, and that's gonna be my Thanksgiving meal. But I thought that sounded pretty good. Anyway, that's my plans. For me, Thanksgiving was always those get togethers we had with the family. I'd wake up in the morning to the smell of all kind of wonderful things my mother was cooking. She'd be cooking macaroni and cheese, beans with, I guess it was fat back in it, with that aroma coming up through the house. And there was something else. She always cooked three things, and we carried three things over to my grandmother's house. All the aunts and uncles brought something to the meal. That's why we always had so much food on those two tables that were placed together. Long tables with white linen on it, and plate after, or bowl after bowl after bowl of food. Just wonderful smelling, good tasting food. I don't know how my dad could sleep through it, but he always slept late, and his nose never woke him up. It always woke me up. Clyde lived next door, right that house right there. And he'd be cooking several different things. I think he did a three bean salad, and he always did corn pie. And his corn pie was the best corn pie I've ever had. Always had to have some of his corn pie. But he would come over here and knock on the door, bang, bang, bang. And my mother would say, "Shh, Al's asleep." And he'd say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot." And he'd say, "Can I borrow such and such?" And, it'd be like 2 or 3 cans of corn because he'd forgotten to get it from the store. And then he'd go back to his house with the things that mom had given him. And he'd come back and ask for something else because he had forgotten to go to the store. And my mother this time would say, "I don't have that, Clyde. You're going to have to go to the store yourself." And he said, "Oh, darn, I hate going there on Thanksgiving morning." So he'd drive up to the store and pick up whatever it was he needed, come back and put that on the stove. And then something else would come to his mind, and he'd come over here and ask if mom had that. And if she did, she would give it to him. If she didn't, she'd just shake her head and say, "Sorry, Clyde." And Clyde would give her that look and crank up the car and go back to the grocery store. Oh, man. He made more trips to the grocery store while he was cooking than he did prior to cooking. He didn't plan ahead. But about 12 o'clock, we'd have everything ready. Mom would have all the dishes that she had done covered, and mittens on her hands and me with mittens on mine, and we'd carry everything out to the car. Dad's still sleeping in the back. Mom would always leave him a note and say, come over if you want to," but he never enjoyed going to those things. I don't know, he was about as antisocial as I am now. I think I took after him. But he was still zonked asleep. And we'd get everything in the car. Mom would come back in here and check around to see if she had left anything. Like I say, she'd leave a note and she'd say, "If you don't want to come, I'll bring you home a dish," which she always did because he never came over. But anyway, we'd get over there and everybody, everybody'd say, so glad to see you, and come on in, bring it, put it on the table, and we'd put it on the table. Then me and the rest of the cousins would go up the front and watch if the parade was still going, because they always had that parade on Thanksgiving. I can't remember who the store was that put it on. But every year we'd have to watch that. Or if there was a football game on, somebody would have that turned on to that, and we'd sit there. Usually I'd get something, I'd take something with me to read. And we'd all sit up there, and all all the ladies would be in the kitchen and fixing stuff, and then Mom would say, "Well, Rick, you want to go with me? We got to go get your grandmama's whipped cream cake." And I'd say, "Yeah, I'll go." So we'd drive into town. One Piggly Wiggly in town that sold that in their bakery. We'd pick that up and take it back to the house, and by the time we got there, everything was ready, and everybody would be standing around waiting on us, wondering why the heck we weren't there. Bringing in that cake box that was, it was huge and tall. Bring that in and put it on the table with the rest of the desserts, pies, cakes, cookies. I don't know if we ever had ice cream. I was trying to think. I don't remember ever having ice cream on Thanksgiving. If we had ice cream, we always made it. But nobody made ice cream on Thanksgiving, so I guess we didn't have it. And we'd all stand around the table with our plates. And that's when my granddad would say, "We need to have the blessing." He'd give the blessing. At the end, he'd say, "And bless the little cook." And then everybody would go around the table, like I said, and celebrate with at least 2 plates. And so full. Everybody slept great that night because all the blood had to be in the stomach because we had eaten so much food. Unbelievable. But all us kids would go into the living room and sit down and put our plates on our lap and eat there and chat back and forth. And once we had finished that, we'd have iced tea too. Everybody would have iced tea, big glass of iced tea. We'd go back for seconds, come back. After finishing that, both plates piled high. After finishing that, we'd go to the dessert table and get 2 or 3 desserts. Oh, man. And that was how we celebrated Thanksgiving. When everybody had finished, we'd sit around and watch a little bit of the TV, the football game. And later in the evening, when the sun started to go down and it started to get dark out, everybody would get up and go into the back where the tables were and fill up plates to take home with them so they could have something to eat that night. We did the same. My mother went and made a plate for Dad. She'd pile it like we piled ours, and I'd pile mine, she'd pile hers, and we'd carry those out to the car. When we get home, Dad would be up with a pot of tea in the TV room watching something on TV. And my mother would come in and bring his plate and put it down in front of him and uncover it. And he'd always go, "I can't eat all that." And she says, "You don't have to eat it all, just eat what you want. And you'll have the rest tomorrow." He says, oh, he hated leftovers. He always enjoyed what he ate, though. And we'd sit there and watch TV until it was time to go to bed. But it was always a wonderful day because everybody was together and everybody was happy to see each other and everybody would talk about what they had done over the last few months. And all the cousins I talk to now say, I sure miss those days when we got together like that. But you know, when Grandma and Granddad died, it just disappeared because my mother would have taken it over, but it never worked out because I don't know, people just didn't want to come here. It wasn't like the center of the family. Grandma and Granddad were the center of the family. And my mother was kind of an offshoot, and everybody else was an offshoot, and that's the way we were. And then family moved away because jobs were elsewhere. So that's what happened to the celebrations and reunions. People live too far away now to get together on occasions. It costs too much to get together. But I always think of those aromas that woke me up in the morning. And my dad's face when my mother would uncover the plates he had brought him. uh, he was like Granddad. It was Glutton's Day to him, too. uh, but anyway, I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving tomorrow. If you're getting together with family, enjoy that time. It's precious. It's really precious. And I hope everybody has enough to enjoy and to stuff yourself, because that's just part of that one day's tradition. Stuffing yourself, packing your bread basket with everything you can put in there, so you sleep well that night because all your blood's in your stomach and not in your brain. All right, folks, I've yacked enough. Y'all take care. Have a good Thanksgiving. God bless you. Till the next time. Bye bye.